So we have our latest question here from Instagram asking me what motivated me in the first place to want to be successful. I've kind of briefly touched on this before. When I was very young, I've always, like a lot of young people, liked cars. And as I started kind of knowing that I was going to get to work in a year or so, and I was going to get my driver's permit, whatever, next year, my uncle decided to take me car shopping. And I kind of talk about this in Third Circle Theory, where, we went car shopping and I was under the impression that we were kind of shopping for me, and he was taking me around to see a Camaro Z28. I got really excited because, like just the idea that I was going to have a fast V8 car was something that was really interesting. But as we kind of finished this test drive, I was like, well, so are we going to buy it? And he just looked at me and goes, well, this isn't really for you. I was just test driving this for me. And I was thinking to myself, and I was like, wait a minute, you're not thinking of buying this for me? And it's like, no. Like, it's like, by the time you're old enough to drive, we'll buy you something like a Toyota Corolla or something like a 4-cylinder to make sure it's safe, it's easier to drive, and you can get places. And to me, being 15 years old with a Toyota Corolla isn't like the hottest thing you can think about, right? Like, you're young, you see all your friends are about, you're in a wealthy high school, and you see all your friends are going to have nice cars. Obviously, your family doesn't have, my family didn't have enough money to buy me, a really nice car, but at the same time, they were willing to at least try to buy me a car, which was really nice of them. But I realized early on that, the way I grew up and all the sacrifices my mom made, we had reached a point where I think it was just going to be impossible for me to have a luxury lifestyle type of, upbringing past what I had at that moment, which was far from luxury. It was just kind of like, I had my basic needs met, right? I had my survival, my eating, and making sure I have lodging and all that stuff. That was all met, but I was far from getting the things I wanted. And I realized that the only person I was going to get the things I wanted wasn't going to be my mom, but it was going to be myself. And so very, very early on, I kind of became very self-motivated to never actually have someone else tell me if I could or couldn't have something. In other words, what really bothered me that day wasn't the fact that my uncle was willing to buy me a Toyota Corolla, which was very, very nice of him. It was just the idea that someone else was not deciding for me what I should or shouldn't be driving, what I should have or shouldn't have. And, at first that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. But in the long run, I really thought about it, and I was like, this really isn't something I want in my life. Like, I want these things, and I have to find a way to get them. And so I really didn't know what I wanted to do in life at that point. Like, it was very clear to me that I had no goals, I had no plans. I didn't know that I wanted to be in banking, I didn't know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, none of those things. What I did know is that one thing was clear, is that I wanted to make a lot of money. Because I obviously knew that the things I wanted, I like nice things, I like video games, I like the things that, the latest technology, gadgets, and I also liked, like nice cars. And I knew that the only way I was going to get those things is if I got them for myself. And so that journey kind of began at that point, that regardless of what I was doing, I knew that I had to make money. And this is something that again, a lot of people ask me today when they're really young, they're 15, 16, they're like, I don't know what to do, what should I do? And I thought about it this way. Well, I started going to work and I thought like, well, I don't know if I'm going to be good at this or this is the job I want, but I did know that I needed money. So I figured if I worked somewhere that paid me well, and if I worked more hours, I would get more money. And while I didn't know that it had anything to do with passion or what I loved doing or what I was going to learn to love doing, I knew for a fact that working more hours at that place was going to get more money in my pocket. And so I devoted my time when I was really young to just working more and outworking kind of everybody, just because I didn't know how to outsmart people. Because I wasn't that smart, right? I was just an immigrant kid with a very basic mentality. And I understood at that time that just the more hours I worked, the more I would get paid. So as simple as concept that is, I just wasn't lazy and I was willing to work because I really wanted these other things really bad. And these other things being this lack of having this act of having someone else tell me what I could or couldn't have really bothered me, even if it came from a good place. Like, it bothered me to the point where I just didn't want to have that in my life, and therefore I did something about it and decided to kind of push forward every day. Regardless that you know what you want to do in life or not, regardless that you already have a plan or not, at the very least, sometimes it's not about just having the perfect plan and executing on it. It's just about having something to do and understanding that until you have something better to do, then doing something is better than doing nothing. And so regardless, that is working more hours, working smarter, trying to get a better job, better improve yourself, whatever that is, while you're trying to figure out what you're good at or what you want to be known for, at least that's just a better start than sitting your ass and doing nothing. And that's what I did, and which is why I think I've reached such a higher level of success at such a younger age than most people. Okay, so welcome to another Ask Me Anything. Today's question is from Instagram. What's more important, vision or hard work?